Hello, and welcome to Cambrian College News this Friday, March 19th. I'm Matt Moskal, and in the news today, Sudbury residents are joining forces to preserve a couple of local landmarks. Thousands of little hockey players head home after a major tournament in Sudbury. And a new restaurant serves up food for people who suffer from celiac disease. And now for our first story. Controversy continues to swirl around two Sudbury landmarks scheduled to be torn down. City Council has approved the removal of both the Pine Street and the Pearl Street water towers. Demolition could begin as early as April, but some Sudbury residents aren't ready to see them go.
John Gruber is trying to keep the legacy of the Sudbury water towers alive. What started as a labor of love turned into an online grassroots movement.
Well, my daughter, she's 5 years old. She has, for some reason, always loved the towers. And I heard that they were going to be torn down. And I thought, well, at the very least, for her, I have to try and mobilize people to do something about it. Save them, memorialize them, remember them, notice them. Because when they're not there, it's going to be a hole in the sky.
Gruber started a Facebook group that has attracted over 500 members. The group includes students and artists looking to preserve the structures.
A local artist, Joel Kimmel, he has started a blog online to gather artwork for an art show at the end of the month. Myself, I'm creating some. My students, some of Joel's students, we're creating artworks to point out the importance of the tower, how it affects us, what we think of it, and just so people can see it maybe in different ways.
Here at Tom Davies Square, the attitude towards the towers differs greatly. Councilman Doug Craig says that the towers should be leveled to make way for much more useful projects and that the argument is already over. The tower on Pine Street is owned by the city of Greater Sudbury. It's currently slated for demolition sometime in April. Gruber says that along with plans to memorialize the towers, he's been tossing around ideas for alternatives to taking the towers down.
It's been a pretty rough time for Sudbury, and I think something like a museum celebrating the region's history could go a long way towards giving us something to be proud of again.
With the date of demolition for the Pearl Street Tower still up in the air, Gruber is hoping that people pay more attention to the tower before it's too late.
It would be a real loss for our heritage. It's not so much that it's a significant building, but it's a significant place. We're an industrial city, it's an industrial building.
For Cambrian College Television, I'm Matt Moskal.
You may have noticed a lot of action around local rinks. The Little Native Hockey League concluded its 4-day tournament yesterday. Thousands of players aged 8 to 18 participated in the event, representing more than 110 teams. Cambrian College Television's Patrick Demers attended the games and brings us the story.
The parking lots were full of vehicles. The arenas with people. There's no question about it. The Little Native Hockey League tournament isn't so little anymore. What started off as a 7-team league in 1971 has quickly expanded over the years to over 100, accepting kids representing any First Nations across Ontario. Marvin Asinaway coached and managed teams on and off for the past 20 years. Now, he's the president.
When the Little NHL was started in 1971, they tried to have a tournament for a lot of the native or Aboriginal kids that maybe weren't playing organized hockey. And in the early years, you know, they just played at home. So they created a little tournament, so this would probably be the only tournament they could go to.
Asinaway says that the idea today remains the same from when it first began, and that over the years, it has done nothing but benefited from expanding to more teams. Carmichael Arena is just one place where the tournament is being played this year. Other locations include Coppercliff, Garson, Lively, Chelmsford, and of course, the Sudbury Arena. The Sudbury Arena was where the opening ceremonies for the tournament took place, and was also where it ended. All championship games were played on the very same ice as the Sudbury Wolves.
It gives a chance for young people from the reservations and res to come and compete in hockey, and they really look forward to it. I know I've been involved right since day one when they first started the tournament, and I got a granddaughter playing right now, as a matter of fact, so I brought my son up, and now my daughter's bringing her girl up to play, so it's really important. The kids are enjoying themselves.
And as for the players, they said they enjoyed it as well.
It's awesome. Pretty cool. I like it.
It was fun, and I had a great time. I think being here, learned a little bit about, it's not always about winning, it's about having fun. And no matter how hard you play, you always get somewhere.
Marvin Asinaway says that in the end, it's all about the kids.
The kids just want to come to this tournament. This is their tournament. This is their March break. This is their holiday, and they'd rather spend it at the little AHL hockey tournament than doing anything else.
For Cambrian College Television, I'm Patrick Demers.
Sudbury sports fans got to do more than cheer on the little NHL tournament players. They were also able to get up close and personal to some hockey history. Exhibits from the Hockey Hall of Fame were showcased this week, and the event featured a new exhibit for Aboriginal hockey heroes. Emmanuel Fellows reports.
These are some of the thousands of people who were expected to show up. There were skill testing games for the young and artifacts for the young at heart. The Whitefish First Nation, along with Skaters Edge, worked to bring the Hockey Hall of Fame's Travelers Package to Sudbury. Paul Thususka is with Skaters Edge.
This gold medal package has never been here. It's new. The last time the Hockey Hall of Fame, I think it was 12 or 13 years ago, in the back of a traveling transport truck. So small in comparison to this, like very small.
The Hall of Fame's arrival was timed to coincide with Ontario's largest native sporting event, the Little Native Hockey League Tournament. Because of that, a new exhibit features celebrated Aboriginal hockey players like George Armstrong and Jonathan Chitu.
Believe it or not, there was no Aboriginal themed exhibit before in the traveling exhibit or the traveling packages. So now there is one that somebody, if they're putting on this event, they can choose to have that as one of their options. But then it's a good educational thing. So you get the adults, the grandparents teaching the kids about some of the history.
Nolan was among those who enjoyed the event. He loves hockey and hopes that one day he will be able to play in the National Hockey League.
Done the goalie save stuff, that and that.
Did you get to see any of the trophies?
Yep.
What do you think of them?
They're cool, and I saw the Rockery shared one.
The Traveling Hockey Hall of Fame exhibit has visited Sudbury before, but never has it been this big or featured this kind of diversity. The Suska says that he would like to see this come back every year. For Cambrian College News, I'm Emmanuel Fellows.